Well, welcome everybody to another edition of Wine Time Yakima, and we're thrilled to be back in the Yakima Visitor Center. Thank you so much indeed to them again for hosting us for our new series of interviews. And this week we've got the link because it's actually John Cooper from the Yakima Visitors Bureau who is our guest for this week for Wine Time Yakima. John, great to see you.
Glad to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us for Wine
Absolutely.
Time. Now, you've brought a very special wine for us to drink this week. This is actually Portuguese, but not quite Portuguese.
Well, yes, it's a blend of Portuguese wine grapes.
That's a great sound.
And I chose this for two reasons. One, my wife and I were there this past spring and visited Porto and the Douro Valley and Lisbon. So I thought I would bring from Desert Wind their Portuguese blend for that reason. And then the other reason is people know about the Yakima Valley being a wine country, and they think oftentimes the usual wines. They think of Syrahs, they think of various rosés, Cabernet, Chardonnay, etc. But in the valley, we grow 35, 40 different varieties, and this is a unique estate blend that they did of Portuguese grapes.
And Desert Wind is right here in the valley.
It's down in the valley,
yes.
in the community of Prosser.
Well, thank you for sharing. Cheers. What would salute be or cheers in Portuguese? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I don't
we'll go with salute.
Is greeting.
Yeah. Salute sounds good to me.
Salute sounds very good, actually. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, that's very robust.
Yeah,
is that the word?
Robust. It'd be great with steak or some other seafood or something like that.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us, and thank you for being our guest today. It's
Happy to be
always
here.
good to see you. Now, I know being John Cooper, you'll be getting into the dad jokes as soon as you can, but we'll hold off on those just for a moment.
All right.
Because you mentioned, of course, that the Yakima Valley is famous for its wine, and we've recently been celebrated for our wine, not this year, but last year.
That's right.
The best wine region in the whole of the US, and in fact, the fourth best region this year.
Yes.
That's an incredible thing for Yakima to celebrate.
Yeah, that's in USA Today 10 Best. And it is a program where they take 20 of the best of different categories and chosen by various experts, writers, etc. And they put it to the vote of the public and their readers to choose. And the top 10 are recognized, but you always want to be not only in the top 10, but sometimes you want to get the coveted top. And so in 24, we did a big push on a campaign, and through the votes of the public and all of our friends in industry, we got Best Wine Region. We were nominated again this year. We did another push. We got number 4.
Yeah.
And currently, we are right now in the running for best place to visit in fall.
Right.
So.
And that's the first time that's been nominated.
That's the first time.
Yeah.
So we're looking for people to vote and to help support it at visityakima.com. There's a link you can vote. And the reason being is fall is a wonderful time to visit. It's harvest, so you see all the harvest activities going on, corn mazes, pumpkins, your fruit, the apples, you pick and that sort of thing. It's also harvest in the wine and hop industry. Hops are coming on, and there'll be harvest as well as all the wine grapes. So it's a great time to visit with the outdoor recreation and other events that occur in the fall, like the fair, etc. So we want people to vote and help get out the vote so that we can rank pretty high in that competition.
Now, when does that one close? That closes in September, I think.
Yes, it closes September 8th.
And do you know where we're running right now?
As of today of taping, we were at number 9.
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
So we're in the top 10, so that's at least what we want.
Now, the Wine Valley thing was really quite interesting because not only was Yakima 4th, I think Walla Walla was 2nd, am I right?
Walla Walla was 2nd.
And then there was another one
number
from the
2
state.
was the Rogue Valley in Southern Oregon. So of the 5, 3 of the top 5 were in the Northwest, and that's
incredible.
Great. That helps to show our region is an established wine region of the U.S. and the world.
Oh, absolutely. No, it was great kudos. And obviously, in your role as running not just Visit Yakima, but also the Convention and Visitors Bureau, etc.,
Right.
you have a lot of impact into what goes on in the area. But you're not actually from here. You're from the Northwest, but not from here.
No, I actually, if you want to go way back to my roots, I was born in Southern California and lived there outside in the San Fernando Valley of LA, and lived there until I was about 13. My family pulled up roots, relocated to follow my sister and her husband at the time down in Southern Oregon to the small town of Roseburg. And so I went to middle school and high school, then I went to local community college, and then I got my degree at the University of Oregon. And since then, I've been in the travel and tourism industry my whole career, and in the Northwest, whether it be Oregon or Washington.
And what was it attracted you to that industry? What was it that made you think this is where I really want to pursue my passion?
Yeah, you know, after I graduated, I got a job at a wild animal park called Wildlife Safari outside of Roseburg. It's a drive-through animal park that has 600 acres, and you can see animals from all over the world. And I was doing public relations and marketing. And I got to do some amazing things. Like, we helped to raise a tiger cub, and we would do public appearances with animals for educational purposes, various TV shows and the like. And the local Chamber of Commerce had just formed a visitors bureau. And being a major attraction, I started working with them. And I knew immediately that's what I wanted to pursue. So after being at the safari for 5 years, I applied and got my first job as a CEO of a destination organization in Corvallis, Oregon, which was interesting because Corvallis is the home of the Beavers and Oregon State University, and here's a University of Oregon grad in that town, promoting that town, but it was a wonderful time. And then from there, I've been to Bellingham, and I did a small stint in Southern Oregon, and then here in Yakima for a number of years.
Yeah, when did you come to Yakima?
Back in 2007, so
Okay.
it's been 18 years that I've been working at this job and loving every minute, because the Valley is just a great place to promote.
It really is, and I think what you've taken on board, from what I've seen in the short time that I've been here, is really promoting so many things about Yakima that people don't necessarily know or even hear in a weird way. When you inherited the job, what was your goal? What did you set out to achieve and say, this is what I really want, this is how I want to put Yakima back on the map?
Well, I followed a longtime friend, Kathy Coffey, who had been in the position for a similar time. And then she ended up running for city council and was the mayor for a while. So we worked closely together on a number of projects. And it was an opportunity for me, after a number of years in Bellingham, the soggy, wet climate there. I always wanted to come to a drier climate. I love the desert. To a place that is growing in its reputation for wines, which I didn't have up there, and the ability to help manage a convention center. Plus, we've got an amazing sports commission that is doing great work in bringing sporting events. So what I wanted to do is continue to elevate the Yakima and the Valley in all of those arenas and work on different projects to that effect. So it's been a fun time, and I think it's one of the best careers someone could have.
And you mentioned the other sports, because it is interesting to me that your role does cover so many different things, and the sports is one aspect of it.
Yakima Valley Tourism is the umbrella organization, and it has as one of our divisions the Sports Commission. We have the Convention Center. We have this facility, the Visitors Services and Visitors Centers, and then our overall marketing to bring visitors here year-round. We work with the industry, hotels, restaurants, etc., to help elevate us as a destination in so many arenas. And it's never a dull moment, and we keep busy all the time.
Well, I mean, travel is my passion, and I'd explored Washington State before, but when I was thinking about moving here and was being asked to move here, I looked up everything I could find, and the tourist guides don't even include Yakima, which I think is really interesting. They claim places like Leavenworth, etc., but outside of really Spokane and Seattle, they don't really say very much, and yet there's so much here. And so I was really intrigued to discover how many hotels Yakima has. The convention center is here, so there is an awful lot of influx of tourism into this area that isn't particularly recognized, I don't think.
Yeah, and some of those publications, the further away you go, the less you probably hear about Yakima and the Yakima Valley. And we work very hard with our state tourism office and national entities to help raise the profile. It takes a lot of work, and we've been successful on a number of fronts, but we can always improve and bring more visitors here.
And the convention center is a huge bonus for the area, because it brings in so much business.
Yeah, it's unique for a city this size. It's almost 100,000 square feet. And I'm always surprised to see what events we might have in the building day to day. And I get people asking me, what's in the building today, John? It's like, oh, geez, what day is it? So it's been a great asset for the community. And it's not just conventions, because it is a community gathering place. We changed the name just from Yakima Convention Center to the Yakima Convention and Event Center, because a lot of people will have weddings and celebrations, and service clubs will do their dinners and banquets and quinceaneras. So it's a community gathering place as well as for us to bring visitors in.
In fact, the Legends banquet was last night. That's
Yeah.
just before we did this show. But one of the things that really struck me, and I thought this was incredible, that Yakima County visitors generated $400 million in spending. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's an incredible amount of money. Mm-hmm. Now, where does that money get generated?
Well, that is generated through anything having to do with being a visitor in the community. So you've got transportation, you've got lodging, you've got restaurants, retail, services, attractions, arts, culture. So the visitors that we get, whether it be a leisure traveler or a convention or sports or business traveler, they're spending their money in a number of ways throughout the community. And that generates sales taxes that help to fund basic services we all enjoy. So it's a win-win for the community.
And I think it generated $53 million in taxes.
State and local
incredible.
taxes.
And that's taxes that the local people don't have to pay.
Right.
Because if you like, the visitors are paying.
Yeah, we call the visitors, regardless of why they're here, they're kind of like temporary taxpayers.
Right.
But they're also a good opportunity for us to tell the story about the valley. When I bring trade and other industry people to town, and they have the preconceived notions about our community, and we take them around and show them what we have, the 4 words I love to hear is, I had no idea. And I have heard that for many times of different people. I had no idea that you XYZ have all these breweries, have this river rafting, have fly fishing. I had no idea. So we love to be able to share what we have with a wide range of audience, because then they become our ambassadors.
Recently the city council has been talking about having to make cuts because they are in a funding crisis. And a lot of our viewers in writing say, well, just cut all the art stuff, just get rid of all the fluff. And then, well, no, because it's the art stuff, etc., that attracts the tourists,
right.
And the tourists generate tax income that the locals don't generate.
Right. So it's a tough decision elected officials have to make. We like to say that in our arena, we're helping to bring the tax funds to support these things, but also to celebrate and elevate what makes a community unique. You want a place that people want to come to, the quality of life in a community, and that encompasses so many things. So tough decisions, but we're there to help raise the money to help solve their problems.
Now, of course, your official role is something that's obviously very important to you, but also personally, you're very involved in things like Rotary. So you're still also working in other ways to create better things for Yakima.
Well, yes, I've been very involved in our local Rotary Club for many years, and I'm queued up to be the club president, which is a big duty. The Yakima Downtown Rotary Club is like in the top 30 clubs in the world in size.
Really?
We have over 250 members. And so it's a big job. And we do a number of things in collaboration with our other Rotary clubs in the community to help elevate and build the community up and make it a great place to live and visit. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a busy time for me.
Well, we met John Ball a few weeks ago, actually,
yes.
And of course the farmers market, that was a huge transformation, and that was something that Rotary were key in
all
developing.
The Rotary clubs, as well as the Rotary Trust, which is a combination of our 3 Yakima clubs helping to raise money for big projects. So that definitely was a big project, and kudos to him and everybody who worked on that.
Well, kudos to you too.
Yeah.
So what about the future? What can we expect next for Yakima? What's in the pipeline?
Oh, I think we're going to continue to see an elevation in a number of events in the community, whether it be in sports or in outdoor recreation. One of the things we like to draw attention to more and more is the access to outdoor recreation that people don't necessarily associate with our region. Being on this side of the Cascades, it's a whole different experience, whether it's Cowiche Canyon or you're going up to the various routes up in the mountains, the rivers. So that's an aspect we're further enhancing. We're continually working with technology and media to get the words out, because that's an ever-shifting thing. AI, for example, and how it gleans and uses information, how we can take advantage of that. Those are all things we're looking at in the future, but more and more visitors is our goal.
And right now we want people to vote.
That's right. Vote, yes. Visit yakima.com. There you go.
And there is a way to hack it.
Yes.
Maybe I should tell you can, if you use different devices in different browsers, you can actually vote more than once a day. But everybody can vote once a day. It just resets
Yes,
every
we
day.
encourage people to vote once a
Yes.
day.
Vote early, vote often.
There you go. There you go.
Well, how's the wine? It's very nice. I'm enjoying it.
Yes,
So
and
you haven't been drinking it
I
much.
think it being opened up like this helps to let it breathe a
Yes,
little bit. And
it's very tasty indeed. 2021, I think that
yep.
is.
So
Any plans to go back to Portugal, or where's your next trip?
next trip, actually, there's a couple of trips coming down the pipeline. One of them is Taipei, as part of being in Rotary to the International
I
Convention
love Taipei.
next spring. So I'm looking forward to that.
You'll have a great time. It's a wonderful place. It's sort of China without the rules.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
It's a lot more relaxed.
It's going to be fun.
Cool. Well, John, before we go, we always have just a little bit of fun at the end.
Yes.
Some questions. And you peaked. You looked ahead. But anyway, so just some quick fire questions, either ors. So now I think I know the answer to this one. So for you, is it watching a funny movie or a dramatic movie?
Funny.
Yeah. Funny enough, I knew you'd say. But what is your favorite movie?
You know, just off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to mind is a longtime favorite one. I've always loved the Sound of Music since I was
really?
a little boy. I just fell in love with Julie Andrews. I wanted her to be like my second mom. I just love that movie. It's a musical and it's just wonderful. And as I love to travel, it showed the beauty of that region. So it's just a wonderful movie.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to Salzburg about a decade ago and see all the places, and it is really quite wonderful.
I've not been there
because it
yet.
hasn't really changed, to be honest. It looks
Put that on the
exactly
list.
same. Yeah, well, please do. Yes, it's well worth it. Now, what about your favourite type of music? If you like Julie Andrews, is that who you'd listen to?
I like classic rock. I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. Rolling Stones. That's kind of my main genre, classic rock.
It's incredible the Stones are still going, because they predate me by decades. Now, watching or playing sports?
Watching.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you like to participate in, if any?
Watching, I think collegiate football. Okay. Mm-hmm. I like to watch that. I'm sorry to see the Pac-12 splinter and go away like it was, but I like to watch football.
Okay, and then
college football.
Final question: the Mariners or the Kraken?
Oh, Mariners.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know it's funny? I've asked that to two people now. They both said the Mariners. So
yeah, I like the Mariners. I've always loved baseball. I played some way back in the day. Was left field and other positions where they tried to keep me out of trouble, but I enjoyed it back in the day.
Well, cool. Well, John, I also know that you're very known for dad jokes. So do you want to tell us one before we go? Before we end?
Okay.
Or do you need another glass of wine first?
No. Okay. Since we're taping this before Halloween period, what is a ghost favorite road?
I don't know.
A dead-end street.
Oh. That's pretty good, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be here all week.
I doubt it. The people won't come and watch that, that's for sure.
Well, cheers, John. It's been a real
Cheers.
pleasure to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us for a glass of wine. It's really very, very nice. Very nice, in fact, actually. And thank you for joining us for another edition of Wine Time Yakima. Join us again next Saturday night at 7 p.m. when we have a very special guest, which we shall reveal later in the week. But for now, thank you very much indeed to the Yakima Visitor Centre for hosting us again today in their really beautiful facility. Thank you to John Cooper. Always good to see you. And we'll hopefully see you again soon.
Great.
Take care. All right. Cheers.